Shalom. All praises unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to the hopeful elect Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kwadash Brakatham. Rakah Kwadash Brakatham. Shalom. So this is First Maccabees 1 and 13. It says, then certain of the people were so forward therein that they went, well, I'll read up a bit. It says, in those days, and I'm reading this because, well, I'll start from 10 because I'm reading this because I was checking something out, and I'm gonna read this to show a video and make a few points. So this is First Maccabees 1 and 10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So this is when Antiochus was coming into rulership, basically. The Greeks were beginning to reign over our people, over the Israelites. All right, so this is like the beginnings of our history among the Greeks, basically. So I wanted to read this here. So it says, and he began to reign 37th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Yeah, so you had our people, Israelites, all right, so-called Negroes, in this time period that pretty much, wanted to participate in the goodies of that kingdom of that time, which was the Greeks. So they started to follow their customs, man. And we slowly, started going away from our customs. All right. So it says, so this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen. And that's like what our people are into today. See, like when you see like basketball, soccer or football and all these different sports that you see today, the arenas, that we see, that's nothing but Greek and Roman customs, man. But but this in particular is talking about like the gym, for example, that whole gym spirit, basically, our people, that's upon Jake. There's a history to that, basically, So it says, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. So our people, we went from our covenants. This is back in the time of the Greeks, Antiochus coming into the power seat. We forsook our covenants, our laws, to follow their laws. All right, we was following their laws. We was following the laws of the Greeks at the time. Now I was reading this, and now if you look at Jake today, our people, we're waking back up. The elect's waking up. I'll say that the elect of Israel, we're, Lord willing, part of that number. We're waking up, but the majority of our people, they're into these Greek customs of the world today. The sports arenas. You watch a lot of these sports. The items, the clothing they wear, they basically ain't wearing anything. For example, the gym, that gymno spirit, the bodybuilding, for example, bodybuilding world. They train all year round to basically parade their bodies to an audience with basically nothing on. Which is a Greek customs, going back to the Greeks. So you can see that among our people today, that influence of the Greekish customs among our people today, among so-called Negroes, among so-called Latinos, Native American people. You can see the Greek customs that are upon our people. Okay, so I read that because I was checking this out here. This is a Jake from Nigeria. Well, he's from Nigeria, but his family migrated to Greece. They actually went to Greece, which is funny because this is why I wanted to read that, because it shows you our people have been scattered, and we're all over the world. We've been all over. We're all over the world, and we're under the customs of the heathen, the Greeks, in particular the so-called white man. Now this is a Jake. His name's Janis Antinoquempo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the surname correctly, but his family went to Greece. They they adopted the Greek customs. You know, they speak the language there. They went there for a better living. I'm gonna play the video. And now he's in the NBA. This guy, he's a Giannis. They call him the Greek Freak, which is the spirit too. They call him the Greek Freak. Yeah, and he's a massive NBA player over there in America. And his brothers are NBA players too. They all of his brothers made it to the NBA as well. You know, but they come from Nigeria, but then they went to Greece to live in Greece and became Greek, obviously Greek citizens, then moved to America to play NBA. So, you know, I'll play this here.
He was born in Athens in 1994 into poverty on the lowest rung of Greek society. His parents had come here from Nigeria and raised their family. They had no papers, lived in tiny two-room apartments, sleeping 3 or 4 to a bed. There was rarely enough food.
You know, it was tough. We didn't have a lot of money, but we had a lot of happiness. So it wasn't broken happiness-wise. You know, when we were struggling back in the day, we were all together in one room, same room. We were having fun, we were smiling. There was some tough time, but...
You think it made you stronger?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They subsisted in the shadows of the economy, peddling goods on the streets, just like these African migrants, hoping to make $25 or $30. Always one step ahead of the law. What were you selling?
We used to sell glasses, watches, then we used to sell CDs, DVDs.
You must be a pretty good...
This is the Jake here, and he's going into it, how his family lived. But I was reading Maccabees to begin with because the point I wanted to really get out of the Maccabees, first Maccabees, was, you know, that we have adopted their customs, basically. You know, and, you know, it says we built the places of exercise. That was the main points I wanted to get. And basically our people have become, you know, like Greeks today. But it's just funny because, you know, it's the spirit that this brother's from Nigeria that went to Greece, and now he's a, you know, an NBA. He's an NBA star. So
I was the best.
The best?
Yeah, I was really good at it.
What was your secret?
I didn't give up. I was keep asking them questions. I was cute too. I was young.
You pestered them until they bought something.
Yeah.
Are you still like that?
Persistent in life? I think yes, I am. Like I'm gonna do something until I get it right.
Say hello to the first ever Google Pixel Watch. Track your heart rate.
Okay, man, these adverts. That was him basically. Giannis this is their Antetokounmpo brothers. That's Giannis, and these are all the brothers. These are all the brothers, and their nickname is the Greek Freak basically. And there's all the brothers, you know, and they're all NBA players. So well, these are the brothers here, and they're all NBA players, you know. So yeah, it's just interesting. Our people are scattered, and we're basically in the customs. We're basically like following the customs of the Greeks. Who are the Greeks? The Edomites. We're under their spirit, man. But it's spiritual because we're scattered. But I'm gonna read this here. I wanted to read this here. We're scattered, man. You know. I don't know if this is not the most orderly video, but it's just different points, you know. But this is Deuteronomy 28 and 64. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other." And that's a part of our curses. "And the Lord shall scatter you among all the people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." And that's what's happened with our people. We're scattered everywhere. That's a curse upon us. All right. And what happens when we go to these places? We're scattered. We serve their gods. We serve, you know, like now we're under Esau's realm. You know, our people have been under Esau serving his gods. That J word, that J, you know, the Chezorah and Serapis serving that, you know, following their ways of life, you know. So it says, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all the people from what, and we've been scattered. So imagine that brother's from Nigeria, that Jake's from Nigeria, right? But his family, which they're Israelites, and his family went to Greece, you know, and then to earn a better living there, and then they've gone to the Americas because he made it as an NBA star. So, you know, that proves we're scattered. We're everywhere, from Nigeria to Greece to Turkey to Spain. Israelites are everywhere. So it says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among," which is the curses among us, "and the Lord shall scatter thee among all the people from the one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord shall give thee a trembling of heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. And that, well, yeah, and the point on that is, wherever we scattered, we're catching hell. Even though you see that Jake, Janice Antetokounmpo, I can't pronounce his surname, Antetokounmpo, which is an NBA superstar now. He's a big NBA player. But his family moved to Greece from Nigeria, and they just, in that quick clip, they were telling you they were struggling. It was hard for them. They didn't have no rest there. And you know, he's one Jake that's made it, so to speak, in this world. He's made it in this world, you know. But he's like one in millions of Jakes there's millions of Jakes all over the world that are just struggling in countries we're scattered. And we don't find no rest, because that's the curses. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling of heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life. And that's what's happened with us today. You know, where America in particular is known as what in the scriptures? Is known as the valley of the shadow of death, because on every corner is death over there, and in all the world, but in particular America, because that's Babylon the Great. You know, so I'm gonna read this here. This is Ezekiel, but I just found it interesting that, you know, that Jake, where he's from the West Coast, but his family moved in particular to Greece, so he's like a Greek citizen. All right, this is Ezekiel 36. He's like a Greek citizen, you know, and you know, he made it into the NBA. So it's interesting. Salakia, bear with me a second. Yeah, it's just interesting. He made it into the NBA, and you know, but he's from Nigeria that went to, and if you know, it's funny, if you didn't know that he's a Nigerian from Greece, you just think he's a brother from Jake from America. You wouldn't know the difference. You know, and then the fact that he represents Greece, but he's from Nigeria and plays in the NBA, and he's a great player in the NBA. You know he's a Jake, which proves that a lot of those people from Nigeria and places like Ghana, Nigeria, Ivory Coast on the West Coast are Israelites, and Israel's scattered all over the world. But that's the main place that Israel are. That's the main place one of the main places we were taken from captivity. And I'm talking about different points in this video. We were taken from captivity, was the West Coast. One of the main places was the West Coast into the Americas. That's one of the main places, you know. And then commenced the history of Esau reteaching our people, bringing us into their ways of life, their customs, basically, you know, teaching us again the Greekish customs again through slavery. That's what happened with Jake. That's part of what happened in the history. But anyway, I'm going to read this, Ezekiel 36 and 19. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them. This is what Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has done to us, so-called Negroes, Latino, and Native American people. We're scattered among the heathen. All right, among the so-called white people, we're scattered among the East Indians, the Asian community. We're scattered in Japan. We're in Korea. You know, we're in the land of Ham, we're everywhere. So it says, and I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them. And when they entered unto the heathen, wherever they went, they profaned my holy name, which they said to them, these are the people of the Lord and are gone forth out of his land. Yeah, we profaned the holy name. Wherever we went, where we were scattered, we forgot the Lord, basically. We profaned his name. Because even when we're under the customs of these other people, that the Lord despises that, because that's another form of profaning his name, is by us also following other customs, exalting other nations, exalting other kings. Like the scriptures talk about, you're not supposed to have no other kings over you. Like, we're not, like, for example, we're not supposed, an Israelite ain't meant to be voting for the English politicians and whatnot. You're not meant to want to have, you know, so to speak, like a Tony Blair or a David Cameron over us. That's part of profaning the Lord's name, exalting these other heathens, basically. They're idols, you know. So but in particular, the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has been forgotten among our people through the scatterings, through, you know, and just our people being wicked too. You know, they want to call upon all these other gods. And when they entered onto the heathen, whether they went, they profaned my holy name when they said to them, these are the people of the Lord and are gone forth out of his land. But I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen whether they went. Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord power, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen. And I'll sanctify it. And remember, we all got to remember this. When the Lord delivers us, when the Lord destroys Babylon, destroys America, and delivers his people again, delivers the Israelites, you know, wherever we're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, all right, beginning with America, he's doing it to exalt his name again, you know, because his name's been forgotten in the earth, so to speak. Well, it's there, but the world profanes the name, man. Anything to do with the scriptures, the true understanding of the Bible, people, you know, disrespect it. When we proclaim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, people scoff and scorn at that. So when the Lord delivers us this time and brings this destruction, it's to exalt his name, exalt Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, in the name the Father, in the name of his Son, Yahweh Shai. It's for them to be exalted. So that's why the Lord's going to do it. And it says that, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord, saith the Lord power, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all the countries. So there's loads of scriptures on this, but we were scattered among all the countries. So we're in America, we're in Greece, we're in Italy, we're in Spain, we're in Nigeria, we're in Ghana, we're in Gambia, we're in Tunisia, Algeria, we're in, you name it, man, Morocco. All right. It says, for I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all the countries and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. And that's the point. I mean, it's going to go in. Oh, I'll read some more. So the Lord's going to clean us, basically, bring us back to our land, the land of Israel, and clean us out away from all these heathenish customs. We're all Israel in the end, but the elect on this side, like even us, where the brothers that believe in this word, that have woken up, you know, we've been in this world. We've been Greeks. We've been following the customs of this world. We need new bodies. We need to be cleaned also. You know, so it says, a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I'll take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. All right, that's the new covenant. All right, the Lord's gonna put the word inside us, man. So we're never gonna go off again. We're never gonna be dispersed again. You know, we're forever gonna be in our land in safety. All right. So it says, and I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes. And that's the new covenant. All right. Through the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers. And ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. Yeah. So we've been scattered. The Lord's going to bring us back, and we're going to worship the Lord again. He's going to bring us from all the places. He's going to bring us from all the places we've been scattered, you know. So I just found it, I just found it interesting that, you know, yeah, that brother from Nigeria plays in the NBA, for example, you know, but he was scattered when his family went from Nigeria, they went to Greece. So he's a scattered Jake that was living in Greece. And when you go back into the history, our people have a massive history with the Greek empires, the Greek Empire, you know, a massive history with them. You know, going into the history, and you can read that in Maccabees, and you know, and yeah. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Quadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect Akim that are teaching this word. Shalom, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Quadash Brakatham. Shalom, shalom.